All right, so with me as usual is Crazy Chris.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Geekland. We are in the new studio. I'm so happy and excited to be here. We actually get to do face-to-face again.
Yeah.
And, I get the headphones I can actually hear.
And
I know what I sound like. Oh, so happy.
all new studio space, and everything looks all fancy behind us.
It does. It looks so much better than it did before. And I'm actually really happy because I don't have my TV with our YouTube stuff in the background. We get like an actual background now. It's super fun. It took forever to get the space going, but we finally managed to do it. Yeah, we're here. We did it. Heck yeah. And we are so glad you are here. So thank you guys for joining us.
So what is this thing about rats doing what they're not supposed to be doing? Let's talk about that one.
All right. So right out of the gate, okay, we're gonna jump right in. So Victor Toth, I don't know, whatever mad scientist name you want to come up with, decided that he was going to teach 3 rats. His plan was really simple. He was going to get 3 rats, and he was going to give them a week to get used to him, and then he was going to take another week to train them to do a simple task. Right? Nothing too crazy. You know, just train them to play Doom 2. Literally, just play Doom 2 on the PC, and it was.
My 22-year-old has a hard time with that.
Right. So he created a rig for these rats and set them in this rig and taught them to play Doom 2. So he built a wheel. Basically, it's a control wheel. And he made the doors so you don't have to click on them to open them. You can just walk up to them and the doors open. And then he would reward the rats for going the correct direction in the game. So whenever they went the correct direction down a corridor, he would give them like sugary water treats. So they would there was these little tubes, and so he would release water when they would do the right thing.
Basically became like a virtual maze.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. And they were doing the right thing. Gave them a harness and a rig and just let them run around. And then he trained his rats, Romero, and he had a couple of other ones, but Romero is really the one that I remember because, of course, he named the rat Romero.
Right.
And he trained it to shoot, but he couldn't quite teach it all the way, right? So what ended up happening was he gave Romero commands, and he would show him what to do for the trigger. So all he had to do was like lean back and his harness, and then he would start shooting. Like he would just like lean back, and it would shoot the imps. And it kind of worked, but he wasn't really sure why he was getting rewarded because he wasn't moving. So he was just kind of like leaning back in the harness. So he would, instead of him learning to shoot at the conditioned times, which there's an imp on the screen, lean back. He was just leaning back all the time.
Like, you feed me.
Yeah, feed me. Give me treats, right? So he didn't quite master it. But the fact of the matter was that he literally conditioned rats to at least run the maze of the first map on Doom 2. And I just have a question. I beckon all of the genius minds out there. Sometimes the answer isn't, can we? The answer is, should we?
I don't know about teaching. Well, I mean, if the rats would have gotten the idea, like, oh, if we shoot people, we get treats.
Right.
Then
thank you.
Then that
now we have a whole rat army.
Yeah.
Right? And there will be a real Rat King, and then there will be real Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then there will be a real white ninja dude running around dressed up like Uber Shredder, and then Vanilla Ice makes a comeback. All hell breaks loose. It's pandemonium. Nobody wants that. Have you seen, like, and this falls in line too with did you see them? They trained that robot from, was it MIT or from Boston University, whatever that robot's name was. The one that they hit like the viral videos, like, Carl, better quit hitting me, Kyle, stop it. They're hitting him with brooms and pushing him down and stuff. They taught this robot combat tactics. They took turns shooting this robot and teaching it to shoot back.
Yeah, because that's not, bad or anything.
Why would you do that? I'm blaming Carl.
Damn it, Carl.
It's all Carl's fault. So yeah, it just falls in line of, can we please stop teaching things that are not natural to other things? Can we just stop doing that, please? Was 2021, was COVID not bad enough for you people? Was it not bad enough? We were going to get murder hornets. Thankfully, those never materialized. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know where they went, but thankfully that was never a thing.
They got the coof and died.
They got the COVID, and that was the end of it. But like apparently, like messing with things you shouldn't be messing with. Stop playing God. Stop, please. And by the way, Doom 2, just for everybody's reference for the SNES, Doom 2 takes place in 2022. So can we please not? Please just stop. Stop playing with stuff. Stop it. But we can play with cool things like video games. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Just not rats. But like Icarus. Icarus is a cool game. It's super cool. We can play that.
So much fun with it. It's different.
You've played it more than I have.
Yeah.
So I've literally had just a fundamental cursory play time with it. Like I literally played it for I think 20 minutes and that was it.
I got about 25, 30 hours on it.
Way more than me.
And you basically
you have as much time in that as Romero has in Doom 2.
Yeah, apparently. So no, like as I'm going down the thing, you know, first of all, I want to thank Sonny, one of the previous co-hosts for the show. That was my Christmas present. So he bought me, like it showed up in my thing. He's like, you know, it released today. I saw that you were, you know, I knew that you were wanting this. Merry Christmas. I was like,
right.
Thank you.
Early Christmas present.
And then, so I hopped on and set everything up. The graphics look a little iffy in some spots.
It's like photorealistic, which doesn't always translate well.
Right. It tries to be photorealistic, but then it comes out all grainy.
Right.
And, you know, I have an 8 gig video card. I have, you know, 64 gigs of RAM. I have all of this stuff. And it still didn't quite look right. I mean, it was playable. I had a good time with it.
Sure.
I still have a good time with it. You build everything that you got. You're moving along. You're doing all of this stuff. And you have to build your own camp and build your, you know, all this stuff. But you still have a time limit of being on the thing because if you miss your window to go back, you'll die.
Death becomes you.
I'm guessing that death comes to you. But
so you haven't been brave enough to find out.
No. They give you like 6 hours or 6 days or whatever on this mission. And I have not gotten below 5 on the counter. Because it's like there's a big counter across the screen that says...
And it's real hours, too.
Apparently.
Right, it's real life hours. So they give you 6 real life hours to play in the game.
So it's like, okay, well, I'll run over here. I'll die. I'll respawn. You have to like get all of the stuff to make a bed. It's kind of like Valheim.
Yeah.
Well,
it's very much a survival game.
It's like Valheim and Rust where you have to make a bed.
Sure.
The difference between Icarus and Rust is you don't have other cocksuckers running around shooting at you, like waiting until like look, you're naked on the beach.
Demonetized.
Like, oh, you're naked on the beach. I'm going to kill you anyway. Like, what?
Like you literally have nothing, but I just want to kill you because I can.
Why are you killing me?
Right.
That was my main issue with Rust. I just get to the point where I would have all sorts of cool stuff and minding my own business, and people would come and kill me just because they could.
Right.
You know, but with
and when you die in Icarus, like that's it. You have to start a new character, right?
I don't. No, you respawn.
Do you do the respawn? Okay.
Yeah, they
but
come.
What about
they drop
so
you
you don't
down.
know if you die in the storm, right?
Right. I don't know if you die in a storm.
I think if you die in the storm, you should just be done.
Well, and it just says if you miss your window, then you're stranded on the planet. So I haven't figured that part out yet. But you have like missions, like okay, you need to go here to do this, and then they'll drop you on this side of the map, and you have to go to this side of the map, and and deal with monsters and whatever. You have to make food and build shelters.
Which there are plenty.
Yeah.
Which
wolves and deer and
it's an Earth-like world.
Yeah, it's similar.
Basically super Earth.
Yeah,
but with storms that come out of nowhere and just kill you for no reason. Like, hey, by the way, this planet's freaking amazing. And somehow everything survives on this world through this storm, but you.
Well, I mean, no, there are storms that come rolling through that you have to be in shelter for.
Right, like you get like not tornadoes, but you
It
get,
starts
like,
hurting
wind.
you
Yeah.
and whatnot. So there are places that have natural caves, and then you can go back there. You got to kill the little cave monster that's back there that tries to kill you. But then you have a place to set up that is warm and all of that stuff.
See, that's what
While
we should be training rats to do.
That while
Kill cave monsters.
Yeah. But once you get to a certain point where you've learned, you've raised up and learned new material, new skills and whatnot, you can get out to the point where you flatten an area, you can build a whole house.
Right.
You can do barns and extra structures and a forge to do.
Well, one of the
more
first
stuff.
things that I saw you do is when you first got it and you started it up, we're sitting there and you're playing with it, is we found this mountain and you were like, oh, I wonder if I can dig under this mountain, like, be like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings, right? And so he starts banging with his pickaxe. He starts banging on these rocks.
Nope.
He gets through. He carves out this part of the rock. And he gets in there, and it's like this big.
Yeah,
He's
no, like
I
the only
could fit
thing
in there.
the only thing I could do, because a storm was coming, they have rock outcroppings that you can knock down and get stones
Right.
and material off of. But you can also carve it out on the inside and get shelter from the storm. So you have this little rock hut.
It was funny. You were
like
so
a little
determined.
baby hut. And then depending on the size of the thing, you can place a fire in an area.
I felt like I was watching Jassel play Fallout 4, and you're like, aren't you going to save your son? Who?
No, but it was fun. I mean, it is a really interesting game. There are some things where I look at like Valheim did it better. There are some things that Rust did it better. It looks better.
Iron Gate Studios did some baller stuff.
Yeah.
There's no...
No, but I'm saying,
Valheim's amazing.
so, but conversely speaking, Icarus was exactly what we were looking at. You're a space age person having to go back down and tame a planet
Right.
and learn how to
Figure
do
it out,
so.
man.
Bears suck balls.
Yeah, they're bears.
You
They're
know,
giant space bears.
right?
Space bears. Which, that's for you, Sonny. Since you bought the game, I guess I'll play with the space bears.
But just like in Rust, bears suck.
Yeah.
You know, and this bears
I don't
suck.
think there's a game that I have played in which the bears aren't horrible. Even the Alguai and Fallout. Especially
Madden.
Fallout 76.
Madden 94.
The bears don't suck. But the bears suck in like every other game.
Every other Madden game.
Madden game. You got the
Oh,
Wildcats, in the college, the NCAA.
Da bears.
Daw Bears. It's the 85. Daw Bears. That was a great skit. That was like the last time SNL was funny. I'm not bitter at all. Like zero bitterness at all. But no, Icarus is a super fun game
Yes, and it's
I'm looking
definitely
forward to
something
playing
that
some
you
more.
need to get onto.
for sure.
New World has been having some updates.
I saw. I have been very lax in my New World play. I've had every other thing in the world to play. So I've had my obviously I've been playing Fallout 76 with my group, and we've been having a good time. And I've been having fun. They released a new event. We've been having a good time, and it's all fun.
Yeah, it's
But,
the Winter Festival. Didn't
Mothman, the Mothman Equinox.
Oh, for 76. I was talking about for New World. They started like
the
the
Winter Festival.
Winter Solstice Festival, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is apparently a nod to Wheel of Time.
Yeah, which
There's a weird Wheel of Time crossover thing now.
but that I'm not going to watch. I'm not going to watch Wheel of Time.
I watched one episode, and that was because I was over at Sonny's house and he was watching it.
I won't.
I'm
burned out.
I'm more of the yeah,
Witcher?
that one. Well, Witcher started yesterday.
Yes, I know.
I'm more of
They released all the episodes, didn't they?
I have no idea. I hadn't even gotten a
No, I
chance
haven't.
to.
Yeah, it's
I know I just watched episode 2 of The Expanse, season latest season.
Right. I still haven't watched any of that actually.
Oh no, I'm more of an Expanse guy. Like I dig that.
I'll be watching all of Witcher. I'll binge it like I did before because Netflix doesn't do episodic releases like everybody else does, which is outrageous and stupid, and I hate it. Like Hulu, I love that Hulu does it. It's fine. Like I watched all of the rest of Archer. I've watched all the new season of Archer.
But no, like it's frustrating when you get used to the binge.
And then have to go back to episodic format. Like, like what is this, cable?
Yeah, like what? No,
I pay for streaming.
Because I had to. I caught up on Tombstone, but Yellowstone. I like everybody was saying how great of a show it was. Whatever. I watched all 3 seasons.
Sure.
In 2 days. And
that sounds right.
Then I had to do the mad scramble to find, because season 4 started. I had to catch up to where everybody else was at.
Right.
And you can get the first 3 seasons on one platform, then you have to go to another platform to get the on-demand.
Well, this is the thing,
and
it's not on demand. So you have to have the Paramount Network. Is how you see 4.
Right. No. Well, I have Paramount Network, and it's not on it.
No, you have Paramount Plus.
Right. Well,
you don't have cable. That's the only way to watch season 4.
Right. So I had to. What I had to do was do the promo package for YouTube TV.
Oh, is that where did you catch it there?
And then I got to go back and watch all of the season 4 up to
whatever
episode
it's at
8 now that I'm waiting on. Tomorrow is when it's going to come out.
And then people are so I'm not, obviously everybody knows who's listening to the show with any. I'm not a Disney fan. I'm just not. So Mandalorian season 3, everybody's talking about it. They can't wait for season 3, and I'm like,
I can't like. Book of Boba Fett looks interesting.
Yeah, and that's the whole thing.
Hawkeye wasn't terrible. Like I thought it was going to be this horrendously bad thing, and they're like, well, they're replacing.
I don't have Disney Plus. We canceled it and we're done.
But I don't pay for it, so
that's fair. I still haven't done. I have 6 months for free.
See, we ended up with 2 years for free.
Did you?
Nice. Yeah. But no, like with Hawkeye, everybody was the main complaint there was they're replacing all of these heroes with females and this, that, and the other. Like, no, he had a female sidekick.
Yeah.
In some of the books. Some of the books it was a guy. In early books it was a guy.
Watch these and complain.
Right.
It's always the casuals, like the diehards. Like it's even like the Superman issue that I'm not allowed to talk about on YouTube because they'll literally cancel us, which is this. But anyways, that whole Superman issue.
Where they created one, even though there's like 2 other universes.
No. I'm talking about a particular affiliation of a Superman. What they did with Superman, but it's not even Superman. It's literally Connor Kent. It's not even Superman. Number 1 and number 2, it's their independent.
Oh, you're talking
creation.
About
They can do whatever they want. No, it's the Superman comic, but it revolves around Connor, not regular Superman. And they gave him a particular affiliation, and I'm like, so who cares? Why are you guys freaking out? And everybody's like, oh, it's because I'm like, no, just stop.
Well, I mean, it's a similar freak out. Like, literally, everybody said I was being over dramatic, but when Captain America came out and, like, he was Hydra,
yeah,
my son got mad and threw away all of his Captain America stuff. Because that was his dude. Like, he liked Captain America.
Right.
And when I made the comment that my boy literally trashed, and I took a picture of all of the Captain, because I made him Captain America posters and picture framed and on his wall and all that stuff. All that stuff was in the trash. They're like, oh yeah, your kid doesn't know. You probably did that, and you're just, whatever. I was like, no, literally, I like Captain America too.
Yeah,
I think that was
Captain America hoodie.
I think that was a dumb storyline.
Yeah, I was personally not a fan. I really wasn't.
Literally, oh, well, let's just make him the exact opposite of everything he went to be.
Right, and then he's like, Hail Hydra. And I'm like, it's cool when you have to, like, when you update a story or when you make it fresh and unique or whatever, and that's all fine. I have no problems with that. But comic book writers have this terrible terrible job. I'm going to be real honest. They have a terrible job because there are so many unique IPs out there with so many different storylines and so many individual decisions that these heroes have to make. They kind of write themselves into corners all the time. And it stinks. Like, I get it. You know, you as a writer, you are perfectly aware of how easy it is, which is why the anthology format is so nice to utilize.
Right. I mean, it's short, compact things, and you can turn around. But that's all what book series are, or anthology sets of that.
They're just long anthologies.
They just sit by themselves. No, I mean, because you get like a story run is like between 6 to 8 books for normal comics. So you have one storyline that will span 6 to 8 books.
Yeah.
And then you have a whole fresh new story.
Correct.
It's
but that's what I'm saying is but you still have the overarching goal. Whereas, like, for instance, Black Book, the unifying force was the book itself. That's the overarch, right? And we don't have to explain anything about the book, which is what makes it so wonderful because it has its own independent mythos. Is it this? Is it that? And the comic book will go into further demonstrate what type of object this actually is. But with comics, the character is generally the subject, so you have to develop the character.
Well, yeah, you have to develop.
I can't have a Captain America comic that literally centers around
but changing the
5 people that Captain America punched one time. Right.
Well, no, they did that.
I know they have. I'm just saying, like, but it was really stupid. That's my point.
But no, like, you know, sticking with, you know, if you have a character who has a basis for a history, just turn around and wiping that history away. Granted, it had to do with the cosmic cube and I think
it was the fan disservice. It was just like, no, just trust us.
Yeah. It was, you know, instead of saying this is a storyline, follow where it go, whatever. This is,
this is a
stop
new story.
being whiny. Literally, they're like, stop whining about it.
Stop whining about it. We're the writers.
Yeah.
We give you the material, right? Like, and it was, I don't know, it was like a casual disregard. But that one actually makes sense. That frustration makes a lot of sense because that's an iconic piece of Americana that they just trashed in favor of a completely different worldview. Doing what they did to Superman doesn't change his character in any way. It just changes his romantic entanglements, which isn't the mythos of Superman. That really has very little to do with who Superman as an icon is. It's truth, justice, and the American way, right?
Well, they stripped the American way out of it.
Well, it's truth, justice, and a better tomorrow, a better world, or something like that, which is fine because Superman is a hero for the world.
Mm-hmm. Though he wears red, white, and blue.
Not anymore. That's not been a thing for a while. But the point with Superman is he is the hero of Earth, and thousands of stories have revolved around that. So yeah, sure. Truth, justice, and a better tomorrow. Cool, great, or a better world. Great, sweet. That doesn't bother me. Like, not at all.
Right, but that totally pushes him into the injustice.
No, it really does.
You know,
it does, and I'm actually here for that. I'm here for Injustice Superman. I love Injustice Superman
because like you can't,
that story.
That's the story that everything, you know. If it's all about, if it's about a better tomorrow, a better world, a better this, a better that, eventually it's going to come down to the only way to make people not terrible people is for somebody to come in with an iron fist or robot language. Remove the humans, everybody will get along.
Correct. Yeah, totally correct. Yeah.
So we have to kill them to save them. That mentality.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. Which is who was that? Ultron. Mm-hmm. The Ultron logic.
Yeah. And you know, I mean, it is what it is.
No, 100%. And that's actually a storyline that's been explored even in Fallout. Fallout had that. Mm-hmm. The Mechanist from Fallout 4 explored that in depth with she programmed these robots. Oh, spoilers if anybody's not played that particular DLC, but she programmed these robots to make the wasteland a better place. And so the robots
decided
interpreted, well, it would be a better place if these people weren't killing each other. Oh, you know what? They can't kill each other if they're not around.
If they're already dead, they can't
Right.
kill each other and like blow holes in their crap.
Humans, they basically deemed humans are unsafe, and in order to make it safe, you have to remove the unsafe factor. You have
Right.
to, and so they boiled human emotion, logic, and human condition down to a math problem. And mathematics is the language of the universe, but at the same time, it's almost impossible to quantify human behavior, which is why when you have, one person that sits at the head of anything and tries to make a decision for 40,000 or 50,000 or 50 million people or 336 million people, it usually ends up pretty bad. Usually. That's why, you delegate.
Right.
That's why delegation is important. Cough, cough, cough. Definitely not political cough.
So what else were we going to talk about?
Oh,
like,
no,
we went off on a whole diatribe
Age of
about,
Empires
like,
4.
comic.
Yeah. I'm on it. Let's go.
Like,
Age of
so
Empires
we
4.
went off on a
because we
comic
literally just
book
got done talking about
tangent.
how I was working into a segue, and you were like, "What else are we doing now?" No, so we were talking about how Superman ruled with an iron fist, and what better way to do that to create a global empire like Age of Empires 4. See, I had a good segue. I was going to work into it. It was going to be fine. Just trust us, man. I'm the writer. I deliver the content. Oh my God. Oh, really quick, shout out Jim Jams, appreciate you, and Jags has been under the weather. So one of our fans, one of the people that's actually done quite a bit for the show, more than I realized until she explained some things. So shout out Yellow Wolf, appreciate you, bro. Like right on, Jelly Roll, you guys are kick ass. Thank you, awesome stuff. Like I had no idea, but Jags has been super under the weather. She has been feeling like crap. She actually ended up going to the hospital. Long story. I'm not going to get into all of it. I'm not going to air her medical history out there, but she's feeling better now, thankfully. She had butthole
stuff.
cancer of the throat because she eats the booty like groceries. That's
That's at least what we're telling her.
right. That's what we're telling everybody. She has butthole cancer of the throat. But Jags, I am glad you're feeling better, man. Shout out to you. You're an awesome person. Kick-ass mom. You're pretty amazing. So thank you for everything that you've done for us. We appreciate it and feel better. And as always, of course, my regular crew, you guys are fantastic. Entropy, you know who you are, buddy. Radio, Yak. Lady Dutch, even though you're deaf, I'll make sure I speak slowly for you.
Caption.
Lady Dutch, I appreciate you. Thank you. Since you're deaf and you can't hear things, she knows what I'm talking about. And then Boyer and everybody else, you guys are great. Thank you. Dr. Pupe. His name is Dr. Pupe. Pewwwwwp. Pupe.
Cute.
So yeah, thank you. Shout out to you guys. Anyways, talking about building an empire.
Yes.
Building a giant global global empire. Age of Empires 4, which follows in the footsteps, thankfully, of Age of Empires 2 and gets back to the hardcore tactics and real-time strategy. And
like I said,
so phenomenal.
when it launched on Game Pass, and I immediately downloaded it and started playing.
It was like December 7th. Like it just came out a couple weeks ago.
When I messaged you when I started it, and it was before you went to the last convention.
Oh, so no, it was late November. Yeah, that's right.
So like, because when it hit, I was like, it's like playing the History Channel.
Yeah, it was so cool.
Because it like goes through like, well, this is the battle of yada yada yada. Boom, boom. Now here you are.
Yeah, and you go through like the different eras, and you get to play all the different and even the nomadic tribes. Like you could pick them up and move them. Is so dope. It is so super fun to play. And the multiplayer mode that they have, where you're actually competing against even just the computer, it is so much better. And the maps are so fresh, and they look so good.
It definitely was a fun thing to sit down and play and
Yes.
start working out. Once you get through it, though, your brain goes, when are they going to release the cheats? Because
It is.
you can do so much more fun stuff. I mean, you beat it first. You always beat the game before you go back and play with the cheats.
You do?
Yeah.
I've been playing these games wrong.
You play it the right way first. You get all of the experience
Listen,
of like
it's my game. I paid for it. You don't get to tell me the right way.
But so now it's just waiting on the cheats, and they're like, well, it wouldn't be an Age of Empires game if it didn't have the cheats.
Right?
So I was like going through the list of all of the old cheats to see if any of them were.
They didn't.
Like, oh no, it'll be patched in. Like you're patching in cheats.
Yes. That's a developer that listens to their fans, though, and that's
Right.
an important distinction. That a lot of characters, a lot of game developers are like, "Oh, we don't want cheats." Like Fallout. If Fallout were to incorporate cheats or have a cheat-enabled server that you could just go and play, and they kind of have now, and if they could make it global as opposed to private, I think that'd be better. But the Fallout Worlds, that's what that
Right.
is you can actually change the conditions of the planet. You can turn on always PvP, so nobody can be pacifist. You can make it nuke all the time, and it's super fun. You can turn off jump mode.
See, I'm one of those that just give me my own private corner to where I can start building my entire town.
And you can.
And that's where
there's the size limitation. They actually have it where you can turn that off. Now you can't carry that into the game.
Right.
But in that particular server that you've built for yourself, yeah, you can build an entire city. And I'm sure very soon there's going to be servers from people.
But see, like that should be open, though, because like if I build an entire town and I have vending machines up and all of this other stuff, the only way I'm going to make any return on the hours and hours and hours is, me farming materials and dumping stuff into the vending machines. Is for somebody to be
Apparently there's an entire economy that I've discovered. I haven't partaken in it, but I have discovered there's an entire economy of real world currency in Fallout 76.
I bet.
And it's pretty outlandish.
No, I mean, like they do that in every game. I mean, that literally is why New World shut off the gold.
Yeah.
You can get it, but you couldn't pay nobody. You couldn't trade between it because gold farmers came in and said, "Oh, well, for $3, we'll hand you 1,000 gold."
Yep.
Or just let me alone and let me do my thing for a half hour, and I'll have a 2,000 gold in my pocket in a half hour to an hour worth of playing New World.
Right, and that's.
But I'm also one of those that I literally salvage everything. Doesn't matter if it goes.
This is so much better than what I'm currently wearing. Salvage.
Well, no, like I will wear. I'll wear the better stuff, but I will go through and salvage anything that I get that is salvageable that doesn't boost my gear score.
And yeah,
I'll make 1,000 gold just doing one run through an area.
And that's what I really actually enjoy about New World is the economic system that they've built is very difficult to exploit. Now people are still going to do it,
right?
Because
I mean,
anytime you can trade in gear,
or
that's going to be a thing.
You can turn around and put something on the auction house or the traders in the trade stations or whatever, and ask an exorbitant amount of money.
Yeah.
And somebody come along and
pay it.
Like, hey, well, I'll give you $10 to give me your 50,000 gold. And you're like,
right.
Okay, well, I'll put this stone for 50,000 gold. You go ahead and buy it, and I'll give you $10.
Right.
Nobody else is going to buy it. Nobody's going to spend, And if somebody does,
for it, yeah.
Somebody does, then you've made out like a bandit.
Right. And we do this really stupid thing in Fallout where somebody will be. There was a dupe thing where people would dupe all their items, and it's still kind of a thing. But if Bethesda catches you, they nuke your account. Like it's bad. But people have gotten a hold of all these duped items. Well, they go in and they sell them, and they sell them for decent chunks of caps. And we'll go in there. We'll cap them out. We'll go in there and we'll basically. We'll get 4 or 5 of us, and we'll go into their shop, and we will buy a whole bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. And you can only carry 40,000 caps at a time. That's it. Once you get to 40,000 caps, we pay the caps for whatever you're offering. Right. You don't get them. It's still in your vendor, so the game does not give you those caps later. So we will literally just go and empty their stuff and be like, "Aha. Guess you shouldn't have had all that stuff in there. Guess you shouldn't have been playing with people that can cap you out in like a hurry." And they will. And you'll see them too. Some of them will realize what's happening.
Right. But
because they'll see on the left-hand corner, like they'll see like so-and-so bought your stuff, and then they'll see it just like start trickling like bat, 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 bat. And then there's like hundreds of transactions, and they're like, "Oh, Jesus." And they'll shut their whole camp off. And you'll watch them. The whole camp will just disappear because they're like, "Jesus, they just capped me out."
Right. But can't you deposit your caps into one of the lockers or whatever. I could have swore that was one of the things you could put in the store, your personal locker thing or whatever.
You can
like
put caps in like random places. If you're trying to get rid of your caps in a hurry, you can do that. I wouldn't recommend it.
Well, see, that's the thing about like playing. I'm not a PvP person.
Oh, I'm not either.
I like playing and doing and being a part of stuff.
Yeah.
But the concept of being able to not. That's why I like Valheim in the sense like if you put the idol, nobody can open your door.
Yeah.
So you can literally store all your valuable stuff inside.
And nobody can get into it. They
nobody.
Can't break your walls. They can't do
Right,
it.
because
now
you put
monsters can still break your walls.
Right. But
which is the thing.
By the time you get there, you should have the stone so you can fortify your area a lot better.
Well, it's just like when you and I were playing and I lured the troll over to your camp so you break all your stuff.
Yeah, it don't work anymore. Like,
oh, did they fix that?
Well, no. Like you can lure whatever, but
if the idol's up, they can't.
if I'm online at the time, the troll's dead.
Oh yeah.
Way before he starts messing with the wall.
But like you just hear
like,
me whistling the jaw like da-na, 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 da-na. Yeah, just no. Da-na, da. No.
Of course, if you have the console cheats open on that, you can literally just I don't know what the cheats are, but I know I've seen somebody like kill all animals.
Yeah, there's
like
console commands. Yeah,
an entire area.
Well, and there's always console commands on PC. Like no matter what, if you can get into the
developer mode,
yeah, then you're going to be able to break stuff.
Well, I mean,
which is fine.
I actually started one just specifically to do one thing, and that was to build Stormwind.
Right.
So I started a whole nother server that is just broken. I don't have to. The only thing I figured out is turning off your requirements.
Yeah, the building requirements.
Yeah. So like you can just go boom, 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 build up walls and do all of this other stuff. So I'm like halfway through making Stormwind.
Yeah. And it's like when you go into my I'm sure it's still there. I've been idle for a while though, so I should probably go check on it. But it's like the giant waterway that I made, where I literally carved out the world and made the part of the ocean flow into this area. And so like I have a river that runs up to the dock where I park all my ship, and I have a fleet of them. Mm-hmm. I just have a fleet of ships. And I'm never trapped on any island ever.
Well, like I got into the point where I would go somewhere, set up a gate. I'd build as many gates as I could, and then they would just be empty gates sitting in my main house. And so whenever I landed on a new place, I would
throw up a gate.
And then I would have boats positioned there. So if something happens to a gate, like you summon one of the bosses and they destroy your gate,
yeah,
you can get on your boat.
That's why I built multiple gates. I think one of my gate names was Butthole, and it was I'm trying to remember which boss it was. Oh, it was the slime, the
biomass
biomass. And I hated that dude. And I just called him Butthole, and it was called my Butthole Gate. And it took me directly to his altar, like it was literally like right behind where he spawns.
Most of the time, like the second boss, where it's in the middle of the thing and it's got this.
Not the tree. Yeah, the trees.
Yeah. Where it's like a concrete or like a base with the altar in the middle of it.
Yep.
And you have to do the ancient seed or whatever.
Yeah, the trees where the trees spawn and they start hitting you with
so
stuff.
I dug underneath and made a room underneath the thing, and that's where I put my gate. So anytime I needed to come back, I would come back out from underneath.
That's what I did with the Drake Queen. There was like a castle, like a ruins right outside. So I dug all the way down underneath the ruins and then built a staircase and stuff right there. So that way when that's where the gate was. Mm-hmm. And that's where I would go. So if I needed to replenish, or if I needed to all right, I go take a nap, And it would still, like, it was funny because I'd spawn back to my base and the boss meter would still be on my screen because it would take several seconds for it to recognize that I wasn't in the boss area anymore.
Right.
And then I would grab what I had to grab and go right back in there. And so the boss wouldn't heal. Now, if I waited too long, like 15, 20 seconds or something, like the boss would heal and I'd have to go back and redo it. But it was really funny.
But no, like I got to the point where with some of the bosses that I would build an entire base, and get everything set up, and then load it, like to where I could get back wherever I spawn, do all of that stuff.
Right.
I'd even build a bed so I would spawn right there.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that was done, I would tear everything apart and walk through, start trucking stuff through the portal, or start trucking the stones and stuff because you couldn't portal with them.
Right. You can't portal the ore, but you can do the stone and all the other stuff. Yeah.
But you can load them onto your long ship and go, and then just step through again. Especially if you have like 3 long ships. By the time that they're all parked at your thing, just load one up.
I remember the
take it
first
back,
time I ever
step
ran
back
into a
there.
Leviathan, and I was like, "Oh God, this thing's gonna kill me," and it did. It blew up my ship. And then
Yeah, that sucks.
Well,
Like,
thankfully,
you're swimming
they patched
forever.
it. Yeah, they patched it pretty quick. Thankfully, that
I lost
when you
so much stuff.
when you die, they patched it so when you die, your tombstone sits on top of the water. It doesn't sink to the bottom. So
I lost so much stuff because
early game sea travel. Yeah, it was.
the Leviathan didn't hurt me. What it was one of those dang needles.
Oh, the
Mosquitoes that were the size of albatrosses come in and was damaging my boat.
Yep.
And I just I'm going out to sea trying to get away from it, and it's dragging
following
it.
you. Yep.
And so in the middle between 2 land masses, you have like right here, I'm right here, and the boat goes,
And then
And
you drop into the water.
and I'm like swimming trying to get to the thing, and then the fatigue thing goes in, and I start taking damage, and it's like, you died. All of my brand new, because I'd just gotten like the ogre skin armor that made me all nice and quiet and ninja, and I just got all of this
Apparently
stuff.
not ninja enough because that
Right.
mosquito found you.
Right. I need a ninja boat, like something
That's-
you can
yeah.
just like.
The raft. Just the paddle the raft real quiet. But yeah, so Valheim's releasing. Have you seen the update on the mist lanes in the mountains?
Yes.
That looks so.
Yes.
I'm so excited for the new year, man. Lots of cool stuff coming out. Obviously, Spider-Man just came out. Mm-hmm. Speaking of new things, Spider-Man just came out. I'm actually going on the 20th. Am I going on Monday? Yeah, I'm going Monday to go see that. Taking my daughter to go see that. She's a huge Spider-Man fan.
Nice.
So we're gonna go watch that, and then at some point I'll take my boys to go see it too because they like the Spider-Man thing. But I have heard nothing but good things. And I think December 22nd, Matrix comes out on HBO Max. So
Yeah,
I'll be watching. No, it's on HBO Max. I'm watching it.
I'm still kind of.
It's free. I'm watching it.
I know, but I'm still trying to wrap my head around the.
I'm not. It's Laura. I think it's Laura Wachowski. I think is the one that's doing it. So we'll see. It kind of looks like a reboot, but it's not.
No, because it's after everything happened, and he was put back in the machine.
Right. Which I thought he was dead at the end of.
All it shows is them lifting him up and taking him away. The
Right.
machine's picking him up, and
But he was dead. So
maybe they plugged him in and he got better.
life support.
She turned me into a newt.
She turned me into a nuke. I mean, that's basically what it was. So yeah, that's coming out on the 22nd. So I'm going to be checking that out.
Which is weird having new people playing old characters and old people playing old characters.
Yeah.
So you have Trinity in there,
Right.
played by the original actress.
Carrie Ann Moss.
But you have Morpheus played by somebody new.
Somebody completely different. Not Lawrence Fishburne.
Right.
Right.
But it's a reincarnation, so he's...
Right. It's a different character. It's still Morpheus, but yeah, it's just a different version of Morpheus.
Right.
So it's they should have been called Matrix Rebooted because it would have just made sense.
Right.
Matrix Reboot would have just actually made sense. But Resurrection, I guess, I don't know. Like I said, I'm going to watch it, and I'll probably write a review on it.
Neo has a resurrection.
That's gross. So it's a resolution?
Well, no, that's... no, the resolution's sticky.
Gross. Somewhere out there, a child is crying because you're a jerk.
No, I'm crying.
So yeah, there's Tiny Tina Wonderland comes out and it's introducing 2 new characters. So there's going to be 2 new playable characters for Borderlands 3 come February, and I'm
seeing
super looking forward to that.
Tiny Tina's voice on everything on TikTok.
Yes, it's iconic character, and the widely held consensus. I think her character development is important, but the widely held consensus is by making her older and more mature, and kind of giving her a free reign of certain things. Like, I don't know. It just, I think they overdeveloped her character instead of they wanted to make her more mature, which is fine. But she lost some of that ridiculousness. Mm-hmm. Like, you can be 25 years old and still act like a 12-year-old.
Well, yeah.
Like, because her entire story, her entire mythos is anchored in some of the most jacked up trauma that you could possibly imagine from the Borderlands universe without getting graphic, or super disturbing, but it's still pretty jacked up. You get the hollows and you listen to it, not hollows. I know what I mean. When you get the memory things and you actually get to hear what happened, you're like, oh,
my bad.
Wow. Okay, no, you blow stuff up. Yep, you just go right ahead, little girl. Here's some dynamite. I found this for you. So it's one of those things. But like Wonderlands promises, I think, to bring her back to her spunky, ridiculously over the top self, which is what was lacking in 3, in my opinion. It's centered more around just not dumb characters, but like not as good new characters. Borderlands 2 introduced some really kick-ass new characters that you fell in love with, whereas 3 introduced new characters you were kind of like, meh.
You're like, I don't really care.
When the villains and stuff steal the show, right? That's what's super important about Borderlands, because Handsome Jack was like one of the greatest villains in any video game franchise, period. He was hysterical, he was funny. And then he introduced the twins in 3, and it's like, they're okay.
They're not.
But they're not Jack.
Right.
Not even a little bit. It was funny in the way that it was tongue-in-cheek about reality stars, about how they act, and like it was basically like TikTok heroes. That's really what it was. And it was like they had their own like podcast type thing where they were, and that was funny to me, the Calypso twin. That was funny. And yeah. So speaking of twins, by the way, did you see what happened to the Island twins?
No, I heard something, but I go out of my way to ignore.
I'm not going to give them a lot of credit. I'm not even going to tell you who they actually are, but just suffice to say they did a show and they got booed off stage. And it was glorious.
I heard that.
And also, as a remark, stop making stupid people famous. Stop.
On that note, I rewrote a song. I sent it to you.
I know. I hate you.
It fit.
I know, but no. We're not playing that. We're not doing it. I'm not singing it.
Well, no, we're totally doing it.
We're not.
It's gonna go on Spotify.
It's not.
And we're gonna make $1 million on Spotify.
We could make $1 million here on all of our various platforms. If you guys out there go to geekpublicradio.com, consider becoming a member, joining up for all the kick-ass stuff and merchandise that we have to offer. We have some great deals up there for you. We have some awesome content. You will actually get to see some hilarious behind-the-scenes bloopers, especially from today's show. I'm just going to put it out there that the edits at the very beginning of the show don't necessarily reflect what actually happened, because as seamless as it's going to look, it was not seamless at all. And it was one of the funnier things that's happened, and I could not contain myself or my laughter.
See, that is why it's always more fun to do the show in the studio.
It is. And the live, if this would have been live, it would have been the greatest day ever. I would have never, Yeah, so you guys get to see bloopers like that, behind the scenes stuff. You get to check out all the cool conversations we get to have with some of the creators of games. Like we had Jeff Ignatowski on last week. That was fantastic.
And he's
So shout
going
out
to be
Jeff.
back for the Christmas Eve show.
Perfect. Yeah, I can't wait to have Jeff back with us. He's such a great guy, and hopefully he can drag Mike along with him. They're such cool dudes, and I really appreciate their hard work and their effort in helping promote our stuff and our work. We will happily return that favor. So check out the Killers card games. You guys get a chance to. It's a great game, fun as hell to play. Definitely give that a look. And then, of course, while you're browsing things online, make sure you check out blackbookmovie.com, where you can find your copy of the Black Book on paperback. You can find the Audible, which I am the voice of, the majestic and melodious voice of the Black Book. That's me. I'm in the movie as well, up and coming rising star. The best of the best, Hollywood, baby.
Malodorous.
Yes, malodorous. And then, of course, you can find your copy of the Blu-ray and DVD, the award-winning Black Book movie, available on blackbookmovie.com. Also, we are expanding, as I mentioned earlier, the mythos of the Black Book by introducing the Black Book comic. So make sure you check out theblackbookcomic.com, where you can find links to our Indiegogo campaign with us trying to raise money to bring in and finish the last 3 books. We've got the first one pretty much done. I think it's done. I don't remember the exact timeline on that. I think we're pretty much done.
It should be done beginning in January.
There we go. Okay, so we're almost done.
Right.
And we have excellent international artists that have agreed to contribute to this work. It looks fantastic. It is so gorgeous. We really thank them and appreciate their hard work of putting this together for us. And Topher, of course, is the writer for that. So all of the amazing things that have been done already with the Black Book mythos are going to be expanded upon by the original creator. So it's not like somebody else is getting their grubby little paws on this. It's literally Topher doing this for us. And then, of course, Rutledge Productions. Always excellent to have them as a sponsor. So thank you so much, everybody over there at Rutledge. You guys are fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Make sure you check out their awesome work at rutledgeproductions.com. And finally, last sponsor, we have daysinightsbooks.com, where you can get all of your kick-ass gaming needs. We got dice towers, dice, books. There are games and stuff like that that you can purchase. So if you guys would like to check them out to get all of your gaming needs, we have everything located centrally in one place, so you don't have to scour the internet to find it. All you need to do is go to daysinightsbooks.com. Make sure you check it out. And if you are a member of Geek Public Radio, you get 10% off your purchase. Definitely want to check that out. And you can get your membership at geekpublicradio.com. Switch it on over to Days and Nights Books, where you get 10% off your order. Guys, can't be beat. So if you're a nerd like we are and you want to get your gaming needs taken care of,
Get your game on.
Get your game on at daysandnightsbooks.com. And as always, thank you guys so much for joining us. Back to you, Topher.
Well, no, that's been pretty good. Wraps everything up. We talked about so much stuff.
No, we condensed a lot of information in a short span of time, and I'm actually kind of proud of us, by the way, because we didn't spend too much time on one thing. We kept a lot of variety going. I'm really proud of us. I think that was a really good flow.
It was definitely,
serious, yeah.
and we only had one diet where we went off and digressed.
I'm a tangent machine.
Right,
That's literally what I do for that's. Yeah, I'm a podcast personality. I'm literally paid to do tangents.
Well, that's it's sad that's your only personality.
Aw.
No.
You're not my real dad.
But we will be back next week. Go ahead, and we are pushing for the Paranormal Hobo stuff. We were supposed to have a show. Life came in and got involved.
Always does.
And made us delay our interview. So be on the lookout for that coming up soon.
You guys don't want to miss Paranormal Hobo. It is funny. It is Topher in a light you have not seen him unless you are a super big fan of the programs. So yeah, definitely want to check out the Paranormal Hobo.
All right, so
I'm very looking forward to it. Also, before you guys go, you thought it was the end. You thought I was done, but I'm never done, baby. Make sure you click below to like and subscribe. That is my favorite thing to do. Like the video if you are feeling so froggy as to give us a little bit of love. We'd appreciate it. Click that like button and don't forget to ring that bell, baby, so that you are notified every single time that we do live shows, every single time that we drop a video or even just release an update, you guys will get notified. So if you're feeling so
and
generous,
we just recently unlocked the community, so we can make community posts and stuff now.
Yay!
So more content from us, pictures, and all of the other stuff. So
Yep. So we got more wicked cool stuff coming to you guys out there. Thank you to everybody. Wicked cool. Thank you guys so much. Everybody already that watches these videos, you guys are amazing. We love you. Thank you for being nerds with us. And as always, stay geeky. I have been Crazy Chris.
I'm Topher. Peace.